good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? So, with Index being absolutely hyped this week, it was very unexpected, in my opinion, for this episode to kick off the way it did after we pretty much learned certain things that, were left untold. But as soon as we learn them, I mean, things kick off real quick afterwards. So I'm really ready to see just what they got planned for, like, this whole overall battle as a whole. Because if it is gonna go out the way it's starting, like if it's just gonna be boom, 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 just like things happening nonstop, uh, we're in for quite a treat. And that all started with a certain group, a terrorist group named the New Light that seemingly had, they were just crazy and they're just doing things for their own reasoning and stuff like that. But we quickly find out what are, oh, I one-shotted this guy, poor guy. What are who could be leading their motivations, and I thought that was a pretty cool aspect just to know that um, not only were they going to play the role of, giving us like a whole group of people who kind of might not even know why they're doing the things they're doing, but because of it, they still do it, like with a smile. They think they're doing something noble. They think they're helping out everybody in the right way, but not knowing it could be the like one of the worst things they ever done, which in this week's episode, we learn just how powerful a certain sword is, and not only just how powerful it is, but how powerful the original would actually be, and it would be nowhere near the one that they had now. So, with that just being out there and being told, it felt like that was a very, very important thing throughout the episode. Like just that one aspect of learning about it. You know, even Toma looks at it and kind of just like, holy crap, like, cool, you got a big sword there, lady. Um, and I mean, the lady who's straight up like wielding this sword is an old woman, which, let me know in the comments down below, is she even going to do anything? And if she is, don't spoil me, like, hello? Um, but yeah, let me know if she actually does something, because that sword is pretty hype, but I have a bad feeling she's gonna go into battle with it, not knowing that around the corner, excuse me, not knowing that around the corner though is the true sword that could, literally obliterate her sword. So hopefully she doesn't get bodied. It would make sense for her to get bodied because as a story narrative perspective, to have the three princesses in a position of who's going to be the queen at the end of it all would be a more. I just feel like it would be a little bit more of a pop of an at the end. Like here's all this crazy stuff that happened. Plus, because all of this popped off the way that it did, they even gotta like get a new queen and stuff like that. So it seemingly is going in that direction, which I'm just making. That was just my guess, So I honestly don't know. But if it does, one of the princesses are already in bad hands, which she literally was talking about the same exact reason why the brainy princess would not, come with them and be by them. It's because she doesn't trust anybody. Come to find out, she couldn't even trust her own sisters, and she was right for it. Um, in the previews, we quickly see that she's the princess that went with the war princess is pretty much just being held by like her like arms by the knights, and they're about to just pretty much execute her. So yeah, I think she chose the wrong person to be following, so that kind of sucks. But at the same time, you got to remember that since the brainy sister got out of this situation, I wouldn't be surprised if she maybe knew that her princess, that her sister, youngest sister, would still go with her, being trusting as she is, and maybe tries to assist. But from what I saw in the previews, I don't want to give too much away if you guys don't watch the previews. It looks like the guy who I believe died last week or last time we saw him, the left seat guy, the one of the guys that were on the bad team that we're supposedly fighting against in the first place. He seemingly seems alive. I also looked in the opening songs. It showed him fighting the guy that we see in this week's episode. The knight who we see is working with the war princess. We know that he could get his hands on that sword, or that he's even got some other type of sword up his hands already on his in his palette already. So I really want to know what the heck's going on with him. He did seem like a good guy because I mean they all seem like they were in on it together to figure it out, but clearly that is not the case, and oh my god, I missed my chance. And we're gonna have to see just what all occurs in this, because as of right now, man, I'm just hyped to see whatever like pops off, because they started off real strong, and because of that, I can expect that with this show, they usually never really pump the brakes until they feel like they've gone, um, like they're getting too close to the end. And to find out that the War Princess betrayed both all of them, and then after betraying them, she then is pretty much going to try to like take over everything. And I don't know. It feels like the one woman I wanted to have not be evil just happens to be evil, Like, what the heck is going on? I can't win. That's what that is. But with that being said, I honestly did like seeing Toma going in the way that he did. Uh, it kind of sucked that he was he has no chance in mobility, and to see him actually watch, or not watch, but see the staircase getting broken, still jumps and punches like the weapon that she's about to get him with. It just goes to show you his reaction time is still so on point when it comes down to combat. He even sees the light outside of the window to save the girl's life. That we know that this new light organization is actually working with the Red Princess, and was the ones to actually transfer the original sword to her, which means the new lights are kind of obsolete at this point, because not only did she get the weapon she wanted, she also straight up tried to kill um, the people who, gave it to her. So it just makes this whole thing a mess when you look at it at the end of it all. Like, we got one princess who literally is doing anything and everything to win, and then we got another one that is very trusting and ended up in a position she probably can't get out of now easily anyway. Um, but overall, I feel like we're just barely scratching the surface of what's actually coming. So just bear in there with me, because I think we are about to get some crazy, crazy stuff, and I'm really happy for it. Let me know if you guys think this episode was hype, or if you guys think that there's other episodes that do this quite quickly, that just hop into this action, not really needing to explain much since there's already a lot of stuff going on, and just the added notion of what starts to occur uh, just starts to take place, and it's easy to follow as of lately. But For now, guys, that's it for this one. That's pretty much all that happens, though, is we learn who's behind, the missing, or at least who has the original sword now, which is a big problem. And not only that, that they are kind of just doing their own thing within all of this happening. So let me know what you guys know about the questions I asked, or ask me any questions that you have for me. I read all the comments, and I do love to talk to you guys that actually have something that you either A, want to say to me, or B, just want to talk to me about stuff like that. I love it all. So thank you so much for the support, guys. I hope you have a good day, night, evening, whatever the case is, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. All right, peace. Oh, I am the anime G. Peace.